Hello, and welcome back to the Kathleen Sprocklin podcast. Yes, twice in one day. What can I say? I had so much fun with another main card that I just had to come back and share it with you. My earlier broadcast today was about a main card that really challenged me, made me think about all of the rules that I set for myself and talk to myself and say, yes, those rules are good and follow them. And then this afternoon, I ended up with a main card that just slipped into place beautifully, in part because I did stick to my rules. So I just wanted to come back and show you that it paid off with one more card. But there's a little bit of meta going on that I want to explain in the background. You know, I've been working on a series on Adler, and the darn thing of it is I'm actually doing a real analytical reading while I'm trying to make this series. And I don't have all my day to be able to give to reading the book. Simon Sinek's Start With Why. It's a good book, but I don't have that kind of time to just like sit down for hours with it. So the cards that I've been choosing have been coming out of this book. And so that's why I'm sharing those with you till I get to the spot where I finish the book and can really dive into the next one. Well, I cheated and I've already dived into the second book, and I'm building out what for me seems like a dream bib card. I know I promised you I would show it to you, and I will. It's coming along nicely, but it's not finished. And so I want to show you this main card that slips beautifully into the Zettelkasten. So let's flip on over to the down-facing camera, and I'll show you the card that did work. Okay, let me share with you where the new main card came from. This is the bib card that I'm working on, and I ended up with a number of bib notes. This one seems to be the most interesting to me. It's about the ability of business to inspire depends on the clarity of their why, although it's just stated, and when you try to go through examples, there really isn't a genuine argument that's offered. There are often examples given or a statement like, well, gee, if the boss can't state the why, how will the employees know what the why is? So they're just very common sense type arguments. And in terms of being able to do deep analytical reading, it hasn't really been required. But I thought that note in combination with this additional note down here, which is the ability to state your why supports your customers' gut decisions. Because when it turns out, and this they did offer some interesting argument having to do with business research, showing that when you actually survey your customers to find out what they want, what they say they want does not align with the factors that actually motivate them when they come to make the decisions. And when they come to make the decisions, it's not based on all of these reasonings and all of these what factors. It's really more based on something at more of an emotional level. And so these two kind of together made a statement that I felt was worthy to go onto a main card. So here's the combined main card that I made for that one. A clear why statement inspires employees and helps customers make a gut decision in favor of your product. And then basically I'm saying that I'm sold on the need for a clearly stated why. And I also would like to have that why as a measuring stick. And my combined tagline is that my customer's gut decision is supported by my clear why. I almost forgot the clear, which is a real important part of this. Okay, so now when this card got to choose its parent, it chose as its parent that new main card that was created out of that dead title card that used to be sitting in my system. Because this was the result of the Google search, was that central in all business communications are clarity and conciseness. And here, the vital element of clarity in this business statement is made this the logical parent for my new card. So now this card is now getting this one added, but this card already had a directory card linking to the card that probably would have chosen it as a parent. The customers are guided by knowing the business why. And so now this also continues and completes the conversation. So now I have a really interesting conversation going on in this card about the importance of clarity to all business communications, especially to a customer's gut decisions when it relates to the why. And in fact, that's part of how the customers are aided by knowing the business why. So this is starting to make a coherent conversation. Now, at the same time, clearly my new card could have chosen this card as its parent. The customers are aided by knowing the business why. This would also have been a quality choice for a parent. So it gets a link. And now these two factors, which are both having to do with customers being aided by why, with this new one being more specific in that it helps them with the gut decisions. So this is strictly about business why, whereas this conversation is a little bit broader, pulling in all business communications. Isn't that sweet? So making the correct choice in terms of the principles of my Zettelkasten set up a situation where the very next card I added fell into place beautifully. I've got a couple of conversations that are related to one another and linked to one another. Each one links to the other, so that whatever grows up in the area of either conversation, both conversations will be able to access it. So everything worked out in a fashion that was very dreamy, even though it was a little bit nail-biting to put the first card in that set up my new business area. So I hope you enjoyed that little postscript to this morning's video and enjoyed your twofer in one day. Tomorrow, no matter how far I am along on it, I will share with you how things are coming with my new model bib card based on the first book I'm reading syntopically with Simon Sinek's Start With Why. And that is also a Simon Sinek book. It's one of the ones I scoped out. It's Find Your Why. And this is a book that Simon Sinek is the lead author on, but he works with two other people, David Mead and Peter Docker, who had successfully run seminars helping businesses and individuals find their why. And so this is actually a how-to book. And peeking out, no spoilers coming today, are the start of the bib cards to go with this book. Show you some more tomorrow. Bye-bye.